Hello, my name is Sam Cooper, and this is my Joe Turner's Come and Gone costume design project. I began by finding pictures of the characters from various productions of Joe Turner's Come and Gone to get an idea of how people dressed in 1911. Here is Loomis and Sonia, Bynum, Seth and Bertha, Seth and Jeremy, Molly and Jeremy, and a picture of Milhand's Lunch Bucket by Romeo Bearden, which heavily influenced August Wilson when he wrote Joe Turner's Come and Gone. I next found some descriptive references of the characters. Seth is very set in his ways, he never loses composure, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. Bertha has some say in the decision-making, but is lower on the hierarchy than Seth. She's also very loving. Loomis lost his way in life, but by the end of the play, he finds his identity / his song. Bynum is a conjurer, understands his identity, and perpetuates the theme of identity. Jeremy is trying to find his identity, is pretty suave, plays a guitar, and is always seeking women's attention. Molly is young, attractive, independent, and refuses to be associated with her old life. I use these descriptions to help further my understanding of these characters. Finally, I listened to the song Joe Turner's Blues by W.C. Handy.
They tell me Joe Turner's come and gone, oh Lordy. Tell me Joe Turner's come and gone, oh Lordy. Got my man and gone. He come with 40 things of change, oh Lordy. Come with 40 things of change. Oh Lord, got my man and gone.
The theme I chose to work with is identity. There are many forms of known identity and identity journeys in Joe Turner's Come and Gone. Bynum knows his identity and helps others to find theirs. Loomis is the most obvious person searching for his identity. He starts the play lost, but by the end of the play, he finds his identity / song, along with the purification of his soul. The characters' clothes represent their identity and tie into the overall theme of identity. Seth is a humble man who just tries to live a good, respectable life. He is dressed in brown because it is a subdued color, much like his personality. Also, he is dressed semi-nicely because along with owning the boarding house, he does other miscellaneous jobs and he would want to appear nice. These are his pants, but they would be a little more worn from repeated usage. His shirt would be long and white and would cover his arms while he's working in his workshop. His vest would look like this, and his brown shoes would be simple for running around the boarding house and doing his other jobs. As a black woman in 1911, Bertha would not yet be wearing pants as they were just becoming popular. Rather, she would be in a long black skirt like this. She would wear a red top like this, and it would be patterned to show her loving nature. Her shoes would be simple and black and easy to move around the boarding house in, and her apron would look like this, except full-sized, because it appears old-timey and appropriate for 1911. Loomis, for the most part, is more reserved and hides in himself, and doesn't really like to interact much with other people. His long black jacket would hide him from the world, but also give a glimpse at what is underneath. His black pants represent his despair, while his white shirt represents the purification of his soul at the end of the play. He would have a pair of simple black worn shoes and a hat that further conceals himself from the world and makes him appear more dangerous, as Seth believes him to be. Bynum is sort of out there and different, which is why he would be dressed differently than the rest of the characters, also because he's older. His shirt is different than Seth and Loomis's to set him apart. He would wear overalls with lots of pockets to hold all his binding materials. And finally, he would wear simple black shoes to show that even though he is different, he is still a part of the boarding house group. Jeremy is pretty suave, so he is clothed in a cool light blue shirt to show that. This is his casual black vest, a simple pair of black pants that are easy to move around in and to work, and a pair of black shoes that he doesn't have to worry about ruining. Molly considers herself to be pretty attractive and sophisticated, so she would be dressed a little differently than everyone else. This simple blue dress draws attention to her and connects her to Jeremy because they are both wearing blue. She would also have a pair of black shoes that are easy to travel in. I would like to conclude by saying that I used the research I found to help me develop a picture of the characters in my head, and then took that picture and decided on these costumes. I chose the types of clothing I did to portray the identity of the characters and to tie into the overall theme of identity. Not only does each character have their own identity, but they have a collective identity of living at the boarding house. Thank you.